16, I bought a straight. 17, too many guns. By 18, I caught a case.
Hey y'all, let's jump right into this look. We are going to start with freshly washed skin. I didn't put any moisturizers on my face before I started recording. I know I'm going to be going outside, so I'm going to be using my SPF Protection Moisturizer by Fenty. This is going to protect my skin from the sun, and I'm also going to be prepping my face using my photo finishing primer by Smashbox. I really like to use this primer before I put any type of cream-based coverage makeup on my face. So I'm just going to be rubbing that in and letting it set, and while it's setting, I'm going to be filling in my eyebrows with the Brow Glue Gel by NYX. This is the bomb. Like, when I say set your eyebrows before you put the eyebrow pomade, pencil, whatever you're gonna use on your eyebrows, this is definitely a necessity. I really like to use this on my no makeup looks too. Typically what I do is I just comb my eyebrows in place and I just shape them based on to my liking until I actually decide to like fill them in or just do whatever it is that I'm going to be doing to my eyebrows. To set my eyebrows, I'm going to be using my Tame Frame brow pomade by NYX. That color is an Expresso. And I'm also going to be using a Morphe angle brush to just sculpt out my eyebrows. I tend to be very simple when I do my eyebrows. I start from the middle and then I work my way closer to the outer part of my eyebrow, and then I basically just work my way in. I hope that makes sense. So as you can see, like, I'm starting from the middle and I'm working my way to the back. I'm a little heavy-handed going from the back because I want it to be like a definite look, but when I get closer to the middle, I'm very light-handed because I don't want to have that boxy look on my eyebrows. I want it to look as natural as possible, but don't get me wrong, I do want my eyebrows to be beat. So I am going to just basically sculpt my eyebrows based off of like my own liking, but because this is going to be like a soft glam type of beat, I'm gonna just basically go based off of like the natural arch of my eyebrows, and then just basically work my way in. Now if I'm gonna be a little, like, if I start to see that my eyebrows is looking a little boxy, I tend to just go in with a spoolie and just basically like buffer out the rough edges. As you can see right here, I'm just basically trying to make it look as natural as possible, but I'm still going to like make it as sharp as I can possibly make it. I hope this makes sense, but I'm probably going to end up making an eyebrow video just so you guys can get that one-on-one close-up on how I do my eyebrows. So right before I clean up my eyebrows, I'm going to set my face with my matte finishing spray by NYX, and I'm just basically going to let that dry, and then I'm going to scope out my eyebrows with my LA Pro Girl concealer, and I'm going to use my Morphe flat brush to basically clean up some of the areas that I might have missed when I was filling in my eyebrows. I tend to clean up my eyebrows the most simplest way possible. I like to start from the bottom of my brow and then work on my top of my brow, but before I actually work on the top part of my brow, I kind of just basically scope them, as you can see, and then I go in with a smudge brush and I just like drag some of the concealer away from the eyebrow. So if I'm going to be doing it from the bottom, I will pull it closer to my eyelid, and if I'm going to be doing it at the top, as you can see, I'm going to be basically pulling it closer to the outer part of my face. I hope that makes sense. So while I'm pulling the concealer away from the brow, I'm also just going to be going over it so that it can blend in as like seamless as possible. I do not like the ghost eyebrows so I'm just basically doing that. And I'm also, sometimes I like to use like a spoolie to, kind of like make it look as natural as it possibly can. I know that sometimes when you fill in your eyebrows, you can make it look like unnatural because of how dramatic the concealer looks. So I tend to just do that sometimes, but in this case, I'm just basically just scoping them out. I didn't make too many mistakes when I was filling my eyebrows in, so yeah. To prep my eyelids for my eyeshadow, I'm going to be going in with the same concealer that I used to scope out my eyebrows, and I am just basically going to spread it all over my eyelid, and then I'm going to use a beauty blender to spread out the concealer. I like to do this because it helps my colors come out really bold, and I just like for my colors to be visible. So this is like a necessary step for me. I spread it throughout my whole eyelid and including under my eye just a little bit because I know that I like to use eyeshadow in that area. And then I'm going to be using my main event palette by Morphe. I'm going to be using both of the shades Greenfields in Act 1, but as you can see, I'm going to be using the Greenfield first. That's the more lighter green shade, and I'm just basically using a flat concealer brush to spread it on my eye crease, and then I'm using the Beauty Blender to spread out the color as well so that I can get that smoky green look. I really like to do it this way because it just intensifies it, and I like to build up the color because I really wanted this look to be like a visible green, so I did that. And one of the things that I noticed is really good with this palette is that the Act 1 green color is a water active color, so you do have to use water to basically activate it. And as you can see, I'm applying it here. I'm using a big fluffy brush because I just kind of want the hints of green to be a little bit bolder on the outer part of my eye. I don't want it to be completely bold. It's kind of like, it's just a smoke look. So as you can see, I'm just basically outlining my crease of my eye, and I'm just using the fluffy brush to spread out the colors. And it's gonna be one of those looks that I have to build up because this eyeshadow is pretty pigmented, but it wasn't as green as I wanted it to be. So that's why I was constantly repeating these steps over and over and just constantly blending it because I didn't want any harsh lines. I am one of those type of people who really like for my colors to just flow, and I just like to build up the color. Like, I really don't like for it to just not be visible, and then I don't want it to be too visible, if that makes sense. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just gonna keep doing that, switching brushes from the fluffy brush to the application brush. So I did have some excess eyeshadow on my face, and I'm going to be using a makeup remover wipe just to get rid of it because we don't want that. And I'm also going to be going into my Morphe palette. I'm going to use this champagne color. I do not know what it's called, but it's in the top row in the third section. And I'm just going to use my finger to apply it over my eyelid. I did not need to use a concealer because it is a highly pigmented color, and I did have some of my natural colors in there as well. So for my eyeliner, I am going to be using the Essence eyeliner. I no longer use this eyeliner. I do not recommend it. It was an okay eyeliner, but I do not recommend it because I did not like the way that it felt on my skin after it dried. But for my eyeliner, I'm just basically going to be doing something very simple. I don't want it to be anything too dramatic. I want it to still kind of go into this soft beat, earthy like makeup look. And the way that I tend to apply my eyeliner is by going by the middle part of my eyelid and just applying it from that part to all the way to the back, as you can see. And then when it gets to the part where I want it to be, as far as like the wing of the liner, I start to basically go in the inner motion. For my lashes, I'm going to be using some regular Beauty Supply bald lashes, and I'm going to be using Sephora glue. I'm also going to be using tweezers to apply them. I don't tend to do this on a regular, but for the sake of this video, I decided I would use tweezers to apply my lashes. I'm going to let them get a little bit tacky, and then I'm just going to apply them. I know doing it this way is a lot easier, and I just really like this method. I learned it a few years ago, and so it just makes it so much easier when I'm applying my lashes doing it that way. And then to blend my falsies in with my real lashes, I'm going to be using my Tarte mascara. I love this mascara. I've had it for so long, and I really think I need to buy another one, but it's still going, so yeah. So for my foundation, I'm going to be using the Matte Poreless foundation by L'Oreal. This is the lighter shade, and I'm just going to be applying it in the parts of my face where I'm going to be highlighting, because it is a lighter shade. And I noticed that both of these foundations I tend to use to just basically blend in my colors. And then for the Fit Me foundation, which is also the matte one, I'm just going to be putting that in places where I'm going to contour. I'm using a damp beauty blender, and I am setting the beauty blender again because I want this makeup to set a little bit. This is going to be a medium coverage foundation look. I do not want to do the full 100% foundation look because I know I'm not going to be wearing the makeup too long, and it is supposed to be like a soft beat. So I'm just going to be spreading it all over my face and just blending it until my arms get tired, till they get ready to fall off, because I do not want my face to look cakey, and I just really want my makeup to set as well. So that is one of the reasons why I'm just constantly blending it. And I'm going to be using my Juvia's Place concealer. This is just what I'm going to be using to highlight my face. I'm going to be using just a teeny weeny bit because it is highly concentrated. I do not want to do too much with it, and I'm actually going to be doing the contour with the Juvia's Place foundation stick. I don't know what number or shade this is. I'm gonna leave it in the description, but I'm just gonna be putting it in the places where I want to contour my face for this look. I didn't want it to be too dramatic, so yeah. And I'm also going to be using another damp beauty blender. This doesn't have any setting spray on it. I'm just using that to just basically spread out the concealer on my face. I like to do my highlight first because I do not like for my contour to just be sticking out. Like, I notice, like, when I do my contour first and then I go over it with the highlighter, like, I notice that the highlight tends to, like, get rid of my foundation. Well, not my foundation, but my contour. And the Juvia's Place concealer, it moves a little bit when you're applying it, so you want to be a little bit careful. And so that was like one of the reasons why I decided that I would just go ahead and do my highlight first, because I don't want for my contour to not be visible. I like the deep contour because I have high cheekbones, so that is like one of the reasons why I'm doing it that way. And I'm just also blending it in with my foundation as well. And so I also want to basically bake my face because I noticed that, like, sometimes I can get that really chicken grease look if I do not set my foundation or my highlight properly. And so I'm just going to be baking my face. I'm also going to use it to set. This is the Banana Powder by Revolution. This is the deep color, and boy, do I look crazy. So I like to use a powder to go over my cream foundation for my contour. And I'm also going to be using an angled brush. This brush is also by Morphe. I think all the brushes that I use in this video were by Morphe. And this is just basically a pre-contour. Like, this isn't the actual contour. I'm just basically getting in the places where I want it to be while my face bake. Because when I do take off my powder, I'm going to basically blend everything in together. So as you can see, I'm removing the banana powder, and I'm also going to be pressing it into my skin a little bit using the beauty blender. And I'm also just basically, like I said, just blending in the highlight with the contour because I don't want to have any harsh lines. I want everything to just flow. So that is one of the reasons why you can see that I'm using the beauty blender, and I'm just lightly pressing it into my skin because I did want the powder to, you know, just set. So under my eyes, I'm just lightly pressing it in, and I'm just constantly trying to get it to blend in a little bit more. Like, I'm really a contour type of person. I love contouring my face because I feel like sometimes you can get that ghost look when you do your highlight, and I was kind of making my highlight a little dramatic, so I figured I would do it that way. Said that I was going to be doing this in the beginning of the video. I said that I was going to be putting some eyeshadow under my eyes because I wanted to intensify my look. So the colors that I'm using is the Greenfields color, and I'm also going to be using the Act 5 color. I did put a little bit of water on the brush because the Act 5 is a water activated color. So I'm just basically putting it under my eyes and I'm smoking it out. You know, gotta get the smokes going on so it can just, you know, bring this look together. And I'm also going to be using the same powder that I used to contour my face, and I'm using a buffer brush that is also by Morphe. And I'm just basically going through my nose just in the most simple way. Like, I don't know how else to explain it, but I'm just applying it in a very light motion, and I'm just trying to bring my nose to life. I wanted to have some features, and I also wanted to look very natural as well. So I'm taking my time when I do that, and I'm just setting my spray with the same matte spray that I've been setting my face with all of this time. I wanted to also do a cheeky look too because I did want to bring some color into my cheeks. So I'm basically using the NYX cheek blush. I forget what the name of it is, but I'm going to leave all the information on the products that I use in the description bar, and I'm also going to leave the shades as well. And I'm going to be using my fan brush to apply my highlight, bronzer, whatever you guys want to call it. I really think this is more of a highlight though, but y'all know it ain't no look unless you doing a highlighter or a bronzer. And just look at how it's coming to life. Like, just look. For my lips, I'm going to be using my lip liner by NYX. This is the Suede Matte Finishing lip liner, and I'm just basically going to be applying it through the outer edges of my lips. I wanted this to be a ombre lip look, so we're just gonna go in with this shimmery lip gloss by Essence, and I'm just basically gonna be applying that on the top part of my liner. Everywhere I put my liner, that is where the gloss is gonna go. And I'm gonna be going in with my pink NYX lip suede lingerie lip gloss, and I'm gonna be going on top of it with the Essence clear lip gloss. And I'm just basically going to be like lightly pressing my lips together to give it that ombre look. And just to finish up the look, I'm just going to be doing some small touches, adding a little bit of the highlight on my forehead, and just basically getting rid of the harsh line that I have from my scarf. And I have to do my edges because this look is just not going to be no look unless I do my edges. And y'all, I had a hard time doing my edges. I was trying my best not to mess up my makeup. I did not want to mess up my makeup, so I had to get up a few times and, you know, just take my sweet little time. Like, I was kind of struggling doing this. And by the way, y'all, I did do my hair. I did the soft lock look, and I'm just, as you can see, just doing these finishing touches, and we are finally done.
That's why I walk like this, talk like that. Iced out all my niggas, bitch, cause I'm a boss like that. Putting miles on my foreigns, fuck off my exhaust like that. Overkillin' while you had to nail 'em to the cross like that. By the block and we pillin'.